Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, our wonderful Facebook friends and family. How is everyone doing today? Happy Monday to each and every one. Man, today's not a cloudy day in Houston. We had lots of rain last week. It's a little cloudy today, but it's cool. Good morning, Jillian. Good morning, Tessa. Thank you guys for checking in. Yes, as you can see, it's cloudy here in Houston, but it's cool. It's nice and cool. Yeah, lots of rain last week. We're in hurricane season right now, so the weather, we gotta be prepared for this type of weather. But anyhow, it's nice and cool this morning for me to get my walk in, so I'm just enjoying the nice, cool weather. All right, so hope everyone had a great weekend. I know I did. I had a relaxing weekend. So what we can do today, right? When this topic come to my mind to talk about, like I said, I don't really plan too much. Whatever I inspire to talk about, sometimes I get inspiration in that evening, late in that evening, whatever the case may be. I said the topic was about forgiveness, right? And I said, man, people hear this so much at times, they don't want, but I could not find nothing else that feels right. So I guess I need to speak on this and see if I can make some sense and get through to some people about forgiveness and break it down a little fine. Because lots of time we tell people, you need to forgive, you need to forgive, you need to forgive. And sometimes people don't understand what it really means. So let's see if we can break this down a little bit, right? First of all, forgiveness means different things to different people. But generally, right, forgiveness involves a decision to let go of resentment and thoughts of revenge, okay? The act that hurts or offends you might always be with you, but forgiveness can lessen its grip on you and help free you from the control of the person who harms you, right? Free you of the control, because I want to go on a little bit more on that. Because the people, when they hurt you and you do not forgive, they're still controlling you, right? So forgiveness can lead to the feelings of understanding, empathy, compassion for the one that hurts you, right? So forgiveness, first of all, let's start off with this. Forgiveness is not for the other person, right? Forgiveness is for you, to free you up, right? Because if someone hurt you, and you don't forgive, let it go. You gotta come to the point where you could let it go, where you can have empathy for the person now, right? You can say, man, you're so messed up. The things that you did to me, you're the one that is messed up. And I'm going to get to the point where I pray for you that you can change your life so you don't go on and do to others what you did to me. Good morning, Renita. Thanks. I'm glad you finally get in to get it live. Thanks for checking in. So you got to come to the point where you said, you know what, I would sympathize with you. I get to the point where I can pray for you because the things that you did to me was not right. And I need to move on with my life, right? So in a nutshell, that's what it is. I'll give you a quick story about myself. I didn't see it as this way when it happened how many years ago, right? Back in the days in Guyana, just around 20, you got your little job, it's not paying a whole lot of money. And we had the tailors back then where you get your tailor-made pants, right? Pants, tailor-made. So I save up my little money. I need one little dress pants to go out and I need the pants for work. And I save my little money, I get it, I go to the tailor, and I pay him, because I, have the little money. So I took my thing, I pay him off the pants. I said, man, make the work pants first for me, because I badly need that. And then do the dress pants after. So long story short, I went to pick up my pants, and he was teaching a lady how to sew. And the crouch area was very short, right? It was very short. So when I tried the pants on, it was very tight. And for the guys who want to listen to this or who listening to it, when the area is tight, it's just to have you really jacked up. It's not comfortable, right? And he gonna watch at me and say, man, Gregory, the pants look good. It look fine. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna adjust it. And he called the lady to look to see how our work was. And he said, he's not gonna adjust it. And I get upset. I said, okay. I tell you what, I can be back here off of work about 5:30. And I come in here and either you have my pants ready or my money, because it's gonna be serious. And I was so mad, and I had to stop by my father because I didn't live with him then. And I stopped by him, And he said, son, what happened? I said, man, tell him the story. He said, so what are you going to do about it? I said, what I'm going to do? I said, I told him 5:30 I'll be back there, and he better have it fixed or have my money, because it's going to get serious. He said, okay, hold on, son, hold on. He said, tell you what. He said, I was a policeman for 30-something years, and let me tell you how this scenario is going to play out. He said, number one, you threaten this man in his own home. You think he's going to sit back there waiting for you just to come to hurt him in his own home? Okay, even if he's so dumb, and you go in there with the rage that you have, you might injure him, right? You can get charged with a assault charge, or you get charged for a murder charge, the way you're upset. Over what? And for what? For a pants? He said, he is the wrong one. But if you retaliate in that way, now you're taking the wrong away from what he did, and you can be the wrong one now. So he said, I advise you, just leave it. Don't even go back there. Don't even go back. Let him have it. Let it go. You know what? I said, man, old man, you don't know what you're talking about, man. I just can't let this guy push over me like this. But anyhow, I had a long bicycle ride. You ride and you work the bicycle a couple of miles, and I think about it. And the same thing what I tell you, that guy controlled my whole day. I could not function at work. Because I was so mad. But I don't know what. I did listen to my father. And I did not go back there. I did not go back. I said, let him have it. I can cut my losses. Buddy, I'm going to pray for you. Now, I don't know how we'll get to that stage. But I got to that stage, right? And I didn't go back. But you know what happened? About a month or 2 months, whatever after, that stuff bugged him so much. He come to me looking for me and begging me, say, man, Wildsey, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to make your parents so free. I'm going to give you back your money. Man, because of how I handled it, right? Because of how I handled it, he felt more guilty where he should be. And now the power was in my hands. If I could free him up from his guilt, or I could leave him in his guilt, the power was back in my hands now. I could accept his offer and free him up, or I could have kept him there and said, no, you need to punish. Right? To David, my neighbor, how are you doing? So, but I did let him go. I accept his offer. I tell him I have no hard feelings about it. We're still friends. Let us move on. So now, that's what I'm saying, guys. Some people out there, I know the hardest hurt to get over is like a relationship hurt. Someone hurt you in a marriage, they cheated, then they walk out, whether your husband or wife, and leave you with some kids. It was hard. What they do, was it right what they did? No, was not right. Was not right, and it's never be right. And they can punish for what they do. But for you to move on with your life, right? Remember, forgiveness is not for the other person. For you to move on with your life, you have to get to the place and make that decision. It's a decision that you have to make and say, I'm not going to let this trouble me anymore. And I am going to move on, right? So you got self-forgiveness. Some people did some terrible, shameful things in their life way back when. And you don't want to forgive yourself because you're thinking the world are still judging you by what you did. I'm here to tell you that's not true. You got to come to the point. I made a mistake. I screwed up big time when I was in college, way back when I was in high school or in some job. But you know what? That does not define me. It's only going to define you if you continue to hold on it. If you continue to hold on the stuff that you did, that's when it's defining you. But if you move on and change your life and go on and do stuff, that would be in your rear view mirror. Right? So you have to get to that point. You have to get to the point. So let's look at a quick scripture here, what the Bible say about forgiveness, right? In Mark 11:25, we can start with that. Mark 11:25. It says, and whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, that your Father in heaven may also forgive your trespasses, right? And Matthew 6:12 said, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, right? So we need forgiveness from other people. Like one pastor, they put it in as forgiveness. You remember the story in the Bible where the guy master had forgive him maybe in just putting a number to it, maybe but $10 million. And then when he went out, he saw someone that owed him 1,000, And he got so upset, and he told the man you have to pay him, and even throw him in jail, right? So one pastor put the forgiveness like this. He said it's an IOU, right? This is for the Christians, right? He said forgiveness is like an IOU, right? God got all these IOUs for you, maybe 10,000 IOUs, right? Stuff that you did that you need his forgiveness for. And you holding on to 10 IOUs for people who did bad for you. He's saying you tear up your 10 IOUs, and I'm going to tear up the 10,000 I have for you, right? That's how he put it. And I think it make a little sense. He says like an IOU. You have 10 IOUs or 20 IOUs, but he has thousands. And he's saying, let's make a deal. Let's trade off. You tear up that 10 or 20 that you have, and I'm going to tear up this 10,000 that I have, that things that you did that you need my forgiveness for, right? It's Leslie Hope. Thanks for checking in. June Antra Glasgow. Thank you guys for checking in. So guys, forgiveness, remember, is for yourself. It's not for the other person. It's for you, right? It's for you. And you cannot have that person controlling you by not allowing yourself to move on and come to the place where you can pity them. So just like the story I told, the advice I got, I want to advise some people right now. My life could have probably gone in a totally different direction had I not choose at that moment there to forgive him and let that go. And you see, when I forgive, the power come back in my hands, that he need my forgiveness. He need to hear it so he can move on with his life. So I'm advising someone out there right now. I know the stuff that happened to you, it really hurt. It's really bad. Someone screw you over in a business deal. Someone that you trust. Someone you put your confidence in. Maybe it could even be your pastor. Someone really screw you over. Someone you trust. But the hardest thing for you, is that you, Jackie Daniels, thank you for checking in. But the hardest thing is you holding on this, keeping back your life. And then when you look, that person moving on with their life and they're looking so happy, right? It gets you so much more upset. You do me all this wrong. I'm here, so hurt and so painful, and you moving on with your life looking like you're so happy. That's the reason why you need to let it go. That's what I'm saying. Forgiveness is not for the other person. Because maybe that person can forgive themselves for the wrong that they did to you, and they move on, but you not forgiving that person for the wrong that they did. And they move on with their life, and you still struggling because you cannot forgive, right? And people in relationships who's hurt in a relationship, if you don't forgive that person that hurt you, your new relationship is going to suffer. That person would not get the best of you if you don't forgive the person that hurt you, right? So before you move on to a new relationship, you need to make sure you forgive that person that hurt you, because you might screw up a really good person, the person that really is for you. You may screw the relationship up because you're still holding on that past hurt, right? So just be careful about that, guys. Think about it. I know we heard this topic a lot of times, but think about it. Forgiveness. If someone out there did you something and it's so wrong, it doesn't make it right. It does not make it right what they did to you. That's not what forgiveness is. It's not saying, okay, what they did to me wasn't that bad. It is that bad, and it's going to always be that bad. But you don't want to keep your whole life back because the foolishness that they did and the wrong that they did, just like in the example with the tailor that I gave you in my story. He was wrong. Let the wrong be on him or her, and you can move on with your life. Forgive them, and they might come back to you and tell you how sorry they are, and then ask for your forgiveness. And you have the power now to choose to forgive or not, and punish them as you thinking. When you hold on a hurt, you're punishing the other person. That's a mistake a lot of us make. If I keep holding on this, I think I'm punishing the other person. No, you're not punishing the other person. You're only punishing yourself, right, guys? So anyhow, we'll leave it there. It's Amelia Harris Joseph. Thank you for watching. So we'll leave this there on the topic of forgiveness. And remember, if you don't forgive, you would not be forgiven. You gotta forgive to be forgiven. Think about those IOUs, guys. So I'm gonna leave this here today, guys. But thanks everyone for watching, and think about that. If there's any person in your life that needs your forgiveness, you forgive them so you can move on with your own life. Remember, this is not about them. This is about you. Have a great day, guys, and I'll talk to you guys on Wednesday.